Hi there, this is Joe from SquareXO and this is SquareXO episode 76. Today we're going to be talking about EGX 2018, gaming news, playing a little game and all those sort of fun stuff we do throughout the podcast. But before we start, don't forget to follow us at squarexo.co.uk, twitter.com/square_xo and patreon.com/squarexo. We've got 37 reviews on the website this month now for September. I'm sure we're going to breach 40 soon. In fact, I'm very confident we will. So check them all out because there's loads of content on there. Don't forget to follow us on youtube.com/JohansonWater for the video cast and Podbean, iTunes, Spotify and Google now too for the actual podcast that you listen to in your ears. Today on the podcast, I'm joined by Nicole.
Hello.
And Rebecca.
Hi guys.
And they're just fresh back from EGX, but we'll get to that in a minute. We're just going to get on with the gaming news first, and then I'll just put my mouse down so that I don't drop it and ruin everything. Yes, gaming news. Okay, so there's a wee bit of gaming news this week. First up, the last PSV... can't say that, can't get my words out. The last PS Vitas are going to be produced in Japan in 2019. Goodbye, Vita. It's been nice.
At the end of it. Very sad.
I've not used my Vita for ages. I did like it to begin with, and then it kind of slowly decided to stop working. Well, it still works, but I've stopped using it, is what I mean. So it's kind of just gathering dust somewhere now. Today, Sony's announced a new PS4 Pro bundle for Red Dead Redemption 2. This comes with a copy of the game, a PlayStation Pro, enough fancy artwork on the box. That's about it, really. It's nothing too special. But hey, if you're wanting a Pro and you want a Red Dead Redemption 2, it could be the best bundle to pick up. Devil May Cry 5 has apparently got microtransactions in it. I don't know if anyone's excited about Devil May Cry 5.
Yeah, feed off now. But see how they've been integrated, I suppose. So.
Are you excited about it?
Yeah, like I'm buzzed for DMC5. I loved the last. They did a reboot last, and I think that's kind of followed from that. So.
I don't know. I played the last one, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm excited about it or not. The last one was okay, I thought.
Yeah,
but I don't know. It's not really my sort of thing. I think that's the problem I've got with it. Capcom is bringing Ace Attorney Phoenix Wright Trilogy to Switch, but also to PS4, Xbox One as well. I thought that was a Nintendo type of game, is it not? Is it usually not always on Nintendo?
I don't really know too much about it, to be fair, but I'm the same. I thought it was a Nintendo-based game.
Yeah, so I thought, but oh well, I guess it'll make people happy. Apparently it's quite a good game, but Nintendo fans always say that, so I don't know what to do or not, because they've got their sort of little franchises that they like. I mean, if somebody said Mario's coming to PlayStation, I'd be surprised.
Yeah.
Would I be excited? I don't know. Maybe I should. I don't know. Anyway, that's one coming, so some people might be excited about that. Fortnite Season 6 has a release date. Is anyone still playing Fortnite? I think one of my kids...
Never played it ever.
I think my kids might be bored of it now.
Yeah, once in a blue moon I play it, but everyone was all over it at EGX, which is quite funny.
Yeah.
My kids getting it. It's funny it was at EGX considering how many people play it at home. But yeah, I'll talk about that when we get to EGX. But Spider-Man PS4 has overtook God of War as the fastest selling first party PlayStation game ever. So PlayStation 4 I should say there. Yeah. So I said last week's news in the podcast was that it's fast catching up. It's the fastest selling, but now it is the fastest selling. So there we go. That didn't take long. Call of Duty Black Ops 4 PS4 timed exclusivity is down to 7 days now. It was a month, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So now it's 7 days. So there you go. I just wish they would get rid of timed why am I struggling with that word today? Timed exclusivity altogether. I just wish it would go away. I wish all exclusives, third-party exclusive stuff would go away and just leave it so that it is what it is. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
all third parties get sort of parity in all platforms. I think that would be quite good.
Yeah.
I think that would be quite enjoyable. What else we got? PlayStation Now lets you download games onto your PS4 now. That was announced last week. And it lets you download PS2 games and also PS4 games, but for some reason not PS3 games. I think it's probably to do with compatibility of the systems or something. But it sort of gives it another reason to get it, I guess. I think there's about 650 games on there. So if you're somebody who likes to play old games, old PS4 games or old PS2 games, then it's an option at least, isn't it? To be able to say, hey, I'm going to get these and play them. So there you go. Yeah. Right, I don't need to talk about that bit of news because I've already talked about it. THQ Nordic has acquired several horror classic What's wrong with me today? It's like I've been eating like some sort of, don't know, can't speak pill. THQ Nordic has now acquired survival horror classic Alone in the Dark. Anyone ever played Alone in the Dark?
No, it sounds interesting though.
I can't say I have.
I have. I played the last one, which was okay if you want to remember. It was a bit creepy. But yeah, it was okay if you want to remember. So yeah, that could be quite a good one for them to bring back. They also acquired, this might have been last week's news, I might have mentioned it, but they also acquired Kingdom of Amalur, which is a sort of RPG that was by EA, and I can't remember the name of the studio, but the studio that closed down that was having issues. It was got a loan by a state in America or something, and then eventually it closed down. But apparently this game, Kingdom of Amalur, I think I've got it on my shelf actually. I remember playing it. It was a really good open world RPG, so kind of Skyrim-like. So loads of good ideas and stuff. It was really good, but they might be able to remaster it. But EA apparently still owns the publishing rights, so it's all sort of up in the air as to whether they'll be able to bring it back. But they own the rights anyway. Plus, they also own the assets for the previous game, the other game that the studio was building, which was like an MMO, I think. Okay, Sony has announced the PlayStation Classic. I'm sure you've all seen this.
Yeah.
Mini PlayStation 1. Is anyone interested in that? It'd be nice to know all 20 games on it, really, wouldn't it?
Mm.
I mean, if they put Croc on there, I'd be like ecstatic. But I'll probably get one anyway, just for the
Nostalgia.
Yeah.
It'll fit perfectly on my anniversary shelf, so I really need to get one just for that. Yeah, so I need to get one just for that. And finally, the gaming chats. Spider-Man's number 1 for the third week in a row. Shadow of Tomb Raider's stuck around at number 2. Crash Bandicoot Trilogy is up to number 3. NBA 2K19 is number 4. Mario Kart's number 5. Grand Theft Auto is still there at number 6. Super Mario Odyssey number 7. F1 number 8. Pugba number 9. Sonic Plus number 10. Anything else of note? A re-entry for Far Cry 5 at number 36. And a re-entry for Animal Crossing New Leaf at number 37. Doesn't seem to be any new entries though at all. So yeah, no new entries last week in top 40. So yeah, that's the gaming news. It's all done.
Right. Let's talk about EGX then.
I know you've been desperately excited to talk about this.
Yeah. I do want to say firstly that it was so much nicer going this year with Nicole and having someone to like halve the coverage with, because when I went last year I think I was sort of just rushing from game to game and wasn't really eating very much, was sleeping very badly because I was really determined to bring really good coverage from everything that was at the show. So I think it's really nice going again this year doing a lot more networking as well, which was nice. It was great to meet so many people from Twitter, journalists, and just people on Twitter in general alike. Really paced ourselves, I think, with the games, which was really good. So yeah, I think just in general, I loved it, and I mean, it's like EGX, so I think went into it this year a little bit more. Okay, like we need to do this, and I was saying to Nicole that we have to play the big games before Saturday and Sunday. And I think she at some point was a bit like, no, we've got ages, we can just take our time. And I was like, no, honestly, I was like, we're playing them today. You'll see why on Saturday, why we're playing them all today. But yeah, I mean, I'm interested to know what Nicole really, thought of it, because it was obviously her first one. And last year, I think I was really starstruck and really enjoyed the games and everything there. So I'm interested to know what you thought of it as your first gaming conference, Nicole.
Honestly, I think it was probably one of my highlights of this year. Like, I don't know what I expected going in, and I mean, after seeing how stressed you were last year, trying to get so much coverage done by yourself, I like I said, I didn't know what I was expecting. I thought it was going to be absolute mayhem, and I mean, to some extent, it was, but the atmosphere when you walk in is just incredible. You're just surrounded by so many people that you could go and strike up a conversation with, because you've all got something in common. And there's something really amazing about that. And I think what I loved above everything else was, like you say, the networking and stuff. But I think speaking to the developers of their games, I think that was really interesting. I loved, especially with one game in particular, which I'll talk about later. But there's something really kind of overwhelming and heartwarming about the fact that you can go up to someone and see their passion in their game and how much they believe in it and want it to succeed. And I think I love that above everything else, was kind of getting hands-on and speaking with them about what they've made and where they want to see it go in the future. I thought that was absolutely lovely. But I mean, overall, it was an amazing experience. I think I'm going to go to everyone going forward, because I think it was absolutely fantastic and I loved it. So.
Yeah, I mean, I've been to quite a lot of them. I went to the very, very first one, which was kind of, obviously it's grown so much since then, but when I went to the first one, there was literally hardly anybody there. Even on the busy days, it was crazy. So you're walking around, you could play any game you want. There was no queues, there was no nothing. It was so relaxed and lovely. And he always said, the guy who owns your game, Rupert, he always said, because I know him a little bit, I've been to parties with him and stuff, and he's always said he didn't really want it to grow too much, that it would end up with just sort of too big for itself.
Yeah.
So when you go along and you're just crushed basically. And I've not been to the ones in Birmingham. I've been to all the ones in London. How long has it been in Birmingham now? 2 3 years?
I think it's 4 years now.
4 years? Jeez.
Well,
I don't. That's a lot if it's been there 4 years. I don't know. I've been to the ones in London anyway, and they got quite big at Earls Court, I think it was. So I'd be quite interesting to see, because I imagine the Birmingham NEC is pretty huge anyway. I've stayed in a hotel there, but I've never actually been in the conference hall. So I imagine it's got a hell of a lot bigger for when it was at Earls Court. But I mean, is it too overwhelming? Is it getting too big for itself?
I don't know. I think the thing about this year's that I did want to mention was that there was quite a few games that have already been released, so it felt almost as though their space could have been given, to pre-release games, stuff that's not come out yet. Obviously, we had Spider-Man there as a really big game, Shadow of the Tomb Raider was there as a really big game, and then, like you said earlier, Fortnite was there as a really big game. So, I mean, Xbox wasn't there at all, take of that as you will. There were lots of games being showcased on the Xbox. I think the majority of the big titles were on the Xbox, but a lot of things that were there you could already get. So it felt almost like there wasn't that much, of an overwhelming factor, because when we looked at it, really, we thought, we've got to play Assassin's Creed Odyssey, we've got to play Metro, we've got to play, the Nintendo games that are coming out, and then apart from that, it was just what we fancied playing. I think, like I've always said at these things, I'm really impressed by the indie games, and the very first thing I actually played on EGX was probably my favourite thing of the entire show. So I played something called Beyond Blue, which is a underwater exploration game, but it's also got environmental ties in it because it's been collaborated with by Blue Planet 2, the TV program. And like Nicole was saying, I met them and I talked to the developers there, and we did an interview that's on the site. And actually on the last day, You know, I had Matt Pellet come up to me and say, like, we read your coverage of Beyond Blue, we thought it was really good, we're really, you know, happy that you like the game. And I think seeing that and actually, you know, hearing the developers interact with the work and the coverage you do sort of makes it all worth it. It doesn't matter, you know, how overwhelming it is. I'm sure me and Nicole are both equally tired today. It just sort of is a little bit, you know, reaffirming when you go to these events, you do all this coverage, and then you have people come up to you and say, we read your piece, we really liked it, and we're really happy that you're excited for the game. So I think on my own, it was overwhelming. I think if you're covering it for, you know, a site and you're on your own, then it's tricky to get through all the big games. And I remember last year feeling quite guilty because I left really early on the Sunday just because I was so tired. I felt like I couldn't really give a good job to any of the games that I hadn't played yet. But I think doing it, you know, with Nicole or, you know, with other members of a site, it makes it easier because you just halve everything up. Because there was a lot of stuff Nicole played that I didn't. So I didn't play Life is Strange, I didn't play Kingdom Hearts. So she could focus on that while I could focus on other coverage, the games that she didn't play.
Yeah, that's quite good, yeah. I mean, one of the things that I did notice about going to places is you just don't eat properly, do you? You're walking on all day and you're going, oh, damn, I forgot to eat.
That's
or
what I
you're
got
grabbing
last year.
a sandwich or a pizza or something and it's like, oh, I don't want to be eating this. But you're so hungry, you don't have much of a choice. You're just grabbing whatever's there. But the only thing I don't like about these things, like you said there, is a lot of them you could just sit at home and play the game that's there.
Yeah.
So I mean that's frustrating. But like you say, with the indie games or the pre-release games, it's really nice. But I think mainly it's nice just because you can meet people who you talk to on social media or who you know quite well in other ways, and like you can just meet up and say, oh, it's a nice way just to sort of talk to people, isn't it? Because I mean, we don't really talk to enough people these days. I don't think it's all quite lonely. I'd say so when you're sort of out and about with people who have got the same interests and stuff. It's quite nice. I think it's nice to do. So yeah. That's what I think the main benefit of a place like that is, really.
Yeah. It was so good. So many times we just kind of congregate in a massive and like other people would come join the group, and by the end of it we'd be stood like with 6 or 7 people, and we'd be like, what's like, were we going to play games, or we just end up talking? It was so good. It was absolutely brilliant. I loved it. And it was so, like, I love the fact that where you have that kind of one common interest at the very least, that all the encounters you make are very natural, like they flow. It doesn't feel like you're a fish out of water. You're speaking to someone and you've never met them before, but you can feel like you've been speaking for years, or you could speak for years because you have gaming in common and you're in that atmosphere, and it just, I don't know, it just works. It really works. I love it.
And it's nice for the UK to have something like that, because it was definitely sorely missing a few years ago when there was nothing like that, really. And I think the UK needs it. I think it's good.
Yeah, I mean, like...
Sorry, I was just going to say, I kind of wish they'd move it around a bit. Maybe put it up to Scotland next year or something.
Oh God, are you kidding?
No, but I think it would be nice just to kind of try and include other parts of the UK. I don't know how they could do it.
I mean, if you've not been, the NEC is pretty amazing in terms of venue. And I think I said to Nicole as well, I was like, you will not believe how big the NEC is. You'll get there and you'll be shocked at how much stuff there is. And we're in, 2 halls, and there's so many halls. But what I was going to say is, I think I'm sort of the same, even if I didn't get a press pass, I think I'd still go. It's just, it's so, I don't know, it's such a nice feeling, like Nicole says, just being in the hall and being in that atmosphere. And then you get the bonus of playing games that aren't out for another 6 months, and you can say to people, oh, I've played that, even if it's only a 5-minute demo as well, like a little bit of an interest in things. So, for example, we played Metro Exodus, and I've never played a Metro game before, but walking away from the demo, I was a little bit more interested in it than I, had been. I think if I'd not played, I would have just stayed with my opinion of, well, I probably won't get into those because it's just another thing to buy. But after playing the demo, I really enjoyed it. Same with Division 2. Like, that's something as well I probably wouldn't have ever considered, but I actually had really good fun playing it, and in terms of a team of all 4 of us. I thought that was great. But yeah, it's just, it opens your eyes to all the, you know, indie games that are coming out, and like I just said, all the big games that are coming out you might not have been interested in. And for example, I'm probably going to get Shadow of the Tomb Raider, but I thought, you know, it's here, it's free to play on, you know, it's a 15-minute demo, give me a taste of it, and now I'm most likely going to get Shadow of the Tomb Raider by the end of this year. I just think it's great, and I mean, it's tiring writing up the coverage, but it's good fun knowing. I don't know, I just enjoy writing the coverage up and doing the interviews and sort of filling people in, you know, people who couldn't go, like, oh, this is what happened, and this is what was there, and this is what we thought about it. So yeah, I think it's great. I love it.
I think that's one of my favourite parts, when you just get to speak to the developers about their games and like you say, see games that surprise you. But I just enjoy that, interviewing people. I think that's one of the most fun parts of all, when you just kind of sit and talk.
Interviewing is fun. Transcribing is not fun.
No, that's not fun. It's not fun. No, especially when you can't understand your own accent.
Oh, really?
What did I say? But yeah, no, that is good though. Transcribing is not great, no, but oh well. There's got to be some downside to everything, isn't there? So what sort of game, as you went there, what game surprised you, would you say, the most?
I'd say probably Metro Exodus. Just like I was saying, you know, I'll keep it quick. I've never been interested in them before. I think by the time I got my PlayStation and my Xbox, it had been quite a big lull in the series, so it wasn't really anything new to pull me in. But then I saw the E3 demo a few years back when it was announced, and I've always been sort of keeping an eye on it and seeing where it's going. So actually being able to play it and just appreciating it for what it is, you know, I think the most impressive thing about that demo was the sound design. It's a very quiet demo, you know, it's just filled with sounds of nature, and when you hear something that's not part of the same ambient soundtrack, it sort of makes you, you know, tense, and the atmosphere is amazing in it, and that was just from a 10-minute demo. So I think that's definitely something I'm going to keep an eye on. But I think for my indie game, it'd have to be Beyond Blue. I just was wowed over by that, and I went to a developer session too, and like you said, seeing the developers and seeing how passionate they are about something they've created, it just makes you all that more interested in the game. When, you know, you hear it's coming out next spring, you think, oh well, that's amazing, I can watch it grow, essentially. So yeah, that's probably mine. Metro for a big game, and then Beyond Blue for the indie game.
So what was your favourite game of the show, Nicole?
I mean, in terms of, like, I don't know, I think it's just, I was expecting to like it, but it's just how much I liked it. It was Metro Exodus, like Becky said. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. The sound design, again, as Becky mentioned, was absolutely brilliant. You're constantly in a state of anticipation, as there's no background noise, so you're very sensitive to the noises you do hear. You kind of step on a branch and, you know, a shiver shoots up your spine, and you're looking around intensely like, oh my gosh, like, what is that? And it was really good, the demo itself, because you got to go into like a combat sequence that let you kind of look at all the stealth features and stuff. Not that I utilised any of them, because I kind of went in, shot one person with a crossbow, and ended up like alerting everyone. So I had to go in like with my gun, running around like a headless chicken. No idea what I was doing. It was absolutely fantastic, and it was really balanced with kind of showing you the environments and stuff, which are absolutely gorgeous. And the visuals in terms of like immersion are brilliant as well, because you get like flies landing on your visor and condensation that you see in your gas mask and stuff, and it's absolutely brilliant for making you feel like you're in the game. But yeah, I'd say that was probably the game I enjoyed most. In terms of like an indie one, I'd have to say Billy Bust Up, which is a game that Dan supported a lot on Twitter. But basically, it's a 3D platformer with Billy Goat and a fox kind of duo at the forefront. So it was right up my street. But it's kind of in pre-alpha stages, so you're kind of focusing more on like the platforming elements of the game in a very bland environment. But it's absolutely brilliant, and the level of detail that's gone into it is absolutely flawless. You can kind of like guess the games that it's kind of got all its inspiration from. Like, it's got Little Big Planet features, kind of like Oscar, and the way you can press the directional button and make him emote. Again, the detail with Oscar runs for a little bit and he starts panting. Absolutely brilliant. And I got speaking to Katie Nelson, I think it is, and she's the 3D artist for the game. And you could just see the passion and how much she believes in the game, and it was so heartwarming, and I couldn't praise her enough. The gameplay itself is absolutely phenomenal, and I cannot wait to get it when it's actually released. But I should have an interview with her up on the site at some point. I'm just waiting to hear back from her over email, because I was dreadfully ill over the course of the weekend, and a bit of a strain. So, as Rebecca knows, because 90% of the time it was, what? Yeah, I'd say my best indie title. I thought it was absolutely phenomenal, and the work that's gone into it is just commendable, and she deserves so much credit alongside the other guy that's working on it. It's Blueprint Games, but they've done such a good job with it, and they should be so proud of themselves for what they've done.
Cool. So overall a good show then?
Fantastic.
Yeah, I think so.
Good, glad you enjoyed it. Maybe I'll go next year, hopefully.
Yeah, we should.
So busy. I was due to go this year, but just life gets in the way sometimes, doesn't it? It's just one of these things that it's just something comes up and it's like, oh well, that takes priority sort of thing.
Yeah.
So hold on. Right, where are we? Sorry, give me a sec. I've just completely messed up my computer. We back. Oh God, what have I done?
Oh no.
What have I done? Right, I'm back. So, see, I just messed up my computer completely there. I don't know what happened. The TV came on. It's like, what? We're doing a podcast. I'm not watching TV now. Okay, right. So, let's just talk about EGX. If you were there and you're a listener, then please give us your thoughts on the show and on our Twitter at twitter.com/square_XO, because that'd be good to know. Right, okay, next up, I've got a code to give away for This Is the Police 2. Thanks THQ and Dead Good Media. Matthew, I think, was the name that you mentioned earlier. He gave me a spare code. I don't know if he wanted me to keep it or for ourselves, but I've decided I'm going to give it away. So if you're listening, the code is 4, P for Peter, M for Mother, B for Bravo, M for Mother, 9, N for November, M for Mother, 7, M for Mother, P for Peter, question mark. You figure that last one out and you can have it. What, that'd make it a little bit of fun. Okay, so yeah. Get
that code is never getting redeemed.
Yeah, try and figure it out and then you can have it. That's the best way of doing it. Okay, time for Drop the Score. Let's play Drop the Score, because it's so much fun. Nicole's never played Drop the Score anymore.
No, she hasn't.
She hasn't, so she's looking forward to this. Okay, give me a sec, we'll just get them up. So, as you know by now, this is just our way of reading out the new releases, but we had a little score and take turns each to see if we can guess. Although we never ever go back to see if we were right or not, but oh well.
No.
Everything. I'm sure someone will tell us how right we were. Right, Nicole, you can go first then, since you're new to this game. Here's the first game. Air Missions Hind. Air Missions Hind is an action combat flight simulator based on the Russian M24 Hind assault helicopter. Equip the weapon of your choice and use those weapons to tear up the sky in the single player and multiplayer modes. What do you reckon? Out of 100.
Sounds quite positive. 75.
Okay, Rebecca. The Cat in the Coop. Plays cat of Dr. Mohammed Mossadegh. Sorry if I said that wrong. The first democratically elected Prime Minister of Iran. Coax Mossadegh back through the significant events of his life by knocking objects off a shelf, scattering his papers and scratching him.
Okay. Interesting.
Really?
I will say 30 for that.
Yeah. Right, Castronauts. Can you
we played this.
unrelenting
Nicole played this
disaster? You can tell me if you think my score's right then. Can you deal with unrelenting disaster and hold your ship together long enough to destroy the enemy invaders? Gather your friends and join the illustrious space fleet in this fast-paced party game. 50.
50?
Yes.
I think I'd give it more than that.
Yeah,
I think a 79 maybe. It's so much fun.
Yes,
It's just like Overcooked, but it's brilliant.
Oh,
yeah,
if I'd known that, I'd maybe give it a bit more, but obviously we're only going by the title and the description.
By the title, yeah.
So
well, yeah, we've already played it, so we've got a little bit of a head start on that one.
Yeah, when you've not played it, it's a bit difficult. You just need to guess what's going on, and it sounds a bit odd. And then the once party game we're in it, and that kind of knocks a few scores off normally. Okay.
No, it's just like Overcooked.
Right, in that case, I might enjoy it, actually. Creed, Rise to Glory. Do what it takes to become a champion. Follow that. This is a PSVR game, by the way. Follow that boxer, Adonis Creed, as you go toe-to-toe with the world's top opponents and intense boxing experience that lets you train, fight, and win like a Creed. What do you reckon, Nicole?
55.
55. I reckon it might actually get a bit more than that. I think it's kind of based in Rocky. Nobody might know what Rocky is. I don't know, but it's... The only reason I say I think it might be a bit more than that is because we've reviewed it, and the review is going live tomorrow, and it wasn't me that reviewed it. It was it John? I think it was John. So yeah, that's going live tomorrow, but apparently it's all right. So there you go. I can't remember the exact score, but I think it was better than 50. Crypt Act. I think that's what it says. Crypt Act. Crypt Act is a free-to-play online fantasy RPG with turn-based battles in which lords can form contracts with mystical beasts to fight together, combine strengths with your newfound allies, and form your own ultimate army. What do you reckon, Rebecca?
I'd go with another 55, I think. Just not sure.
Yeah, I think I would join you there. I'm not sure either. Right, Dakar 18. Dakar 18 is this realistic simulation of the world famous annual rally. We know what it is. I'm not going to read it all out. We know what it is. 60. Okay, Nicole. Dark Eclipse. This is a PSVR game. Dark Eclipse is the PS4's first ever VR MOBA. Command a team of 3 leaders, each with their own unique characteristics and abilities, and battle for supremacy in the post-apocalyptic dark fantasy world of Oldus. Nicole?
I'd say 67.
Precise.
Yeah.
It's quite precise. Okay, Rebecca. Deployment is the next one. Deploy your troops and get ready for epic battles and deployment, the new competitive top-down shooter game by the creators of We Are the Dwarfs.
Sounds quite interesting. Maybe a 65 on that. Just don't know anything about that.
I love when they put a description that goes from the creators of We Are the Dwarfs.
Yeah.
What's that? Never heard of it. We Are the Dwarfs. It's like, should I know what that is? It's quite, look, this is appropriate that I get to guess the score in this next one.
Have you reviewed this next one?
FIFA 19.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
We know what FIFA 19 is. I don't need to read out the description. I'm going to give that 90.
Yeah?
Seems
very confident.
I've not played it, but I've played the demo, and I'd say it's changed enough to give it... No, maybe not 90. No, I'll revise that. 85. I think 90 is a bit high for a FIFA game. Freaky Awesome. Freaky Awesome is a highly dynamic roguelike where you gain mutations by contact with the remainder of your enemies. Play solo or co-op with your friends.
Who's that, Nicole?
Yes.
60.
60. Yeah, fair enough. Okay, you'll love this one, Rebecca. The Grand Museum VR.
Okay.
This virtual museum environment contains 82 models of real-world ancient works of art from Europe, Asia, North Africa. Investigate the archives and discover the history of the art pieces.
See, this is an interesting one in a way because it's not really something you can give a score on for being like a thriller or an adventure or puzzler game, but at the same time, don't know how many people would be interested in it. It seems like if museums are your thing, then it might be quite fun, but I think I would have to give it 30.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, we'll just fly through the rest without the descriptions because there's so many.
There's loads, isn't there, next week?
Yeah. Hollow Knight Void Heart Edition. I'm going to give that I've looked at trailer that because everyone was asking to review it, so I thought, well, there must be something to it then. Yes, so I'll give that an 80. Right, Nicole, Jack and Jill DX. I'm not reading that description. I'll start the first description. Once upon a time, Jack and Jill went up a hill to fetch pale water. There you go.
I don't know, 40.
40. Okay. Right, Nicole, Rebecca. Life is Strange 2. Episode 1.
70.
70.
Yeah,
Yes,
Nicole said the demo was good, so.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing that. I was going to review it, but I don't know if we'll get a code, who knows. If we don't, I might review it anyway, because I'll probably buy it. Metal Maxino, Nicole. This is a sort of NIS America style game. Sort of Japanese RPG.
Give it 65.
65. Rebecca, Perception Remastered.
You might game.
Yeah, I know a little bit about this one already, so I'd say 73. I'm quite interested in that one. If I have time, I wouldn't mind checking that one out a little bit more.
Cool. Pilot Sports. A brilliant game for the whole family. 50. Okay. Nicole, yours is Pitter Pot. Don't know if you have heard of this one, but it's got quite nice graphics from what I remember. It's got a quite nice, interesting art style.
55.
55. Rebecca, Punchline. I hope it's not a joke and this is the punchline.
Yeah. It's tricky when you know the title. It sounds, I don't know, I'll go 40.
It's a visual novel, by the way.
Okay. No, I'll stay with 40.
Okay. Revenant Dogma. Oh, this doesn't sound like my sort of game. Fantasy RPG. I'm going to give this a 60, I think. Okay, Nicole, think of the children.
I've heard about this. It sounds funny. It's like a parenting simulator, I think.
I'll give it like a 70 then. So I bet loads of people will get a crack out of that. So.
Oh, we can Chesson. Who's next? Me? Or is it Nicole? Rebecca, you're next, aren't you? This is the Police 2.
Looks quite interesting. I'll say 75.
Oh, better get that code then, 75. That's not bad. Right, mine's is Time Spinner, which looks like a sort of pixelated graphic Stardew Valley style game. I'm going to give it a 70. I'll be generous. Toon War. Nicole?
40.
40.
Okay.
Valkyrie Chronicles 4, Rebecca?
68.
68. That's it.
There's so many games out next week.
Yeah, no, we have to stop reading the descriptions just because there's so many. It's like, we'll do it for some of them and then we think, geez, it starts to go, wow, there's so many, isn't there? Right, okay, I don't know if I said, but don't forget about our competition because I don't know the last time. We've had so many entries this month, but there's remember, you just tag hashtag PS4 share screens with hashtag SQXO Sept for a chance to win a copy of Spider-Man from monstershop.co.uk, the best and cheapest online shop. Numbskull, I've given us a nice Crash Bandicoot cap to give away, so don't forget that you could soon have that on your head if you enter this competition. And you can also get your screenshot printed on a canvas, which I think is one of the coolest prizes of all, actually. I've got one of the canvases I printed for a Darksiders shot. Don't know if you can see it or not.
I'm still waiting for you to send me the link so I can get some Bloodborne.
I've not even done it yet. I'll do it.
No.
I'll do it. I'll remember to do it. I forget these things. Yeah, so it's pretty awesome prize, actually, I think. And it's quite easy. You just hit that share button, hashtag it, and that's it. I mean, it's brilliant. So yeah, make sure you do that, because that's cool. Hey, right, if we get anything else to talk about, are we just a bit done? I can't think.
Yeah, because we've not really been... I mean, me and Nicole have talked about what we've been playing on our EGX coverage, which you can obviously read on the site, but I think that's about it, isn't it?
Yeah, cool then. Okay, don't forget to check out the website for all the latest reviews. There's absolutely tons of them. It'll probably take you about a month to read them all. The website, of course, is squarexo.co.uk. We're on twitter.com/square_xo, and you can back us at patreon.com/squarexo for cool mugs and t-shirts and our SquareXO Extra podcast, which you get exclusively by being a Patreon. Yeah, so check us out everywhere. YouTube, Podbean, iTunes, Google. We're everywhere. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.